The KLR650 is a jack of all trades, but it's not a one-size-fits-all motorcycle. While the windshield is adjustable, you've only got two choices. You've got it up or you've got it down. But what if neither one works for you? Windscreen risers are a cheap fix, but do they actually do the job or are they a scam? In this video, I'm going to install some windscreen risers on my Gen 3 KLR650 and run some tests to find out. Hi there and welcome to another Adventure Bikes Australia video. My name is Ben and I'm not an expert motorcycle rider or motorcycle mechanic in any way whatsoever. And a quick disclaimer before we get started. In this video, we're going to be using some parts from NiceCNC. Now, this is not a sponsored video. While I have done partnerships with them in the past, this is not one of those videos. I jumped online to their eBay shop and I bought these parts by myself with my own money, and NiceCNC is not affiliated with this video in any way whatsoever. Now, you will find an affiliate link down in the description, but that is not an affiliate link with NiceCNC. That is an eBay affiliate link. What that means is if you choose to buy some windscreen risers for your bike, eBay is going to split their sales commission with me at no extra cost to you. So when dual sports don't have fairings or windshields, why does the KLR have both? Well, the windshield is important because as you're moving through the air without fairings and a windshield, you're getting a fairly even distribution of that airflow pushing on your body. The fairings and particularly the windscreen sort of deflect that air around you and over the top. The KLR's windscreen is adjustable in two positions, lower and higher. The idea being that depending on your height and where you sit on the bike, that air will pass over your head. That's great as long as you fit into the design parameters of the Kawasaki engineers. I do not. I'm 183 centimeters tall or 6 foot flat in freedom units. That was weird. And it doesn't matter which position I have that windscreen in, it just keeps hitting me right in the face, and it's so loud in my helmet and I get buffeted around so much. The solution to this is windshield risers, and I've chosen to go with the ones from NiceCNC. I chose these ones because they can be mounted in either the high or the low position, and they also have this little groove in here, which is going to allow me to tilt the windshield forwards or backwards. So I first realized that I was having a problem with this when I was out doing a ride, road testing the CarPuride CarPlay unit. I'd had a full day in the saddle, I was feeling really tired, my back was sore, so I stood up. And all of a sudden, it was quiet, it was calm, and I wasn't getting buffeted around. And I realized what was happening. The windscreen was gathering all this air that would be passing through, condensing it and blowing it straight into my helmet. When I stood up, I was out of that, my head was out of that stream. And so that's when I decided to give windscreen risers a go. So to test my theory, we're going to do a couple of things. I'm going to start with the windscreen in the lowest position. I'm going to drive at 100 kilometers an hour and record the audio in the helmet to give you an idea of the noise there. Then I'm going to do the same thing again with the windshield in the highest position, recording the audio. And finally, I'm going to put the windscreen risers on in the high and the low position. And I'm also going to lay the windscreen back and move it forward. So that'll be 4 more runs after that. That's going to give us a total of 6 different samples that we can compare, and we can work out which is the best position for me, and it might be a good guide for you too. So now that we've got the scientific basis sorted, let's get out there and go for a ride in the rain.
All right, here we are sitting at 100 kilometers an hour with the windshield in the lowest factory position, and it is really, really loud. I can feel the wind. It's coming straight in, right in the glass of my helmet, and I'm also feeling a lot of buffeting on my shoulders and my chest. I can barely hear myself talk inside the helmet here, so I hope I'm not shouting. I hope it's not coming through too loud for you on your phone or TV, whatever, however you're watching that. But I'll be quiet for a couple of seconds and you can just listen. Okay, so here we are now at 100 kilometers an hour with the windshield in the highest factory position. And I can say that a lot of the buffeting on my shoulders seems to have cleared up. I don't feel like I'm getting knocked around nearly as much, but it's still really, really loud. Still really loud. So I'm going to be quiet for a couple of seconds, give you a bit of a taste. So it's a bit quieter than it was with it in the lowest position, but I still can't hear my voice speaking to you. So again, I hope I'm not shouting at you. There is a little bit less noise, but now I can hear the tyre noise, so nothing I can do about that. Just got to put up with that one. So now let's find somewhere to pull over and we'll throw on the risers. Alright, so I seem to have run into a little bit of a problem here. See if I can get around the other side of the bike, get a decent amount of light. But the problem is with the risers in the lowest position, but tilted all the way forwards, I can't actually get this windshield back on because the windshield, you can see it's not screwed in at the bottom here, because it then fouls the black cowling at the front here, which is going to be a problem. Bummer. Alright, so I was able to eventually wrestle that riser on into the lowest position, and it's almost at its forwardmost tilt. I can feel maybe a bit more turbulence on the helmet than when it was in the lowest position of the factory positions. It's definitely noisy again. The wind is now deflected a little bit higher. I can feel it now on the upper half of the clear visor instead of the lower half, so that's something. But yeah, this is not the spot for me. But I'll be quiet and give you a couple of seconds to hear it. Alright, so here we are now at 100 kilometers an hour, and I still have the screen in the lowest position, but now it's tilted all the way back towards me. Less buffeting than when it was facing forwards. Still quite a lot of wind noise. I'm feeling more wind on my chest than on my head though, which is not bad. I prefer that than buffeting my head around, knocking it around like a pillow. But I'll just be quiet now and I'll let you have a listen. So yeah, there you go. In my opinion, that feels much better. Alright, so here we are, we're at 100 kilometers an hour. The windshield is now on the risers in the higher position and tilted all the way forwards. I've got almost no buffeting on my body, on my shoulders, or on my head for that matter. My head isn't getting yanked around at all. I can hear myself speak a lot better in the helmet, so I'm almost certain I'm not going to be shouting at you this time. And the noisiest thing I've got is the exhaust. The wind noise has been cut right back. I won't say it's silent, but it has been cut right back. So I'm going to shut up for a couple of seconds and let you listen. Man, that high-pitched tyre whine is really pronounced now. It's not competing with the wind noise. Wonder if it's worth putting the screen back down just to try and block that tyre noise. That's horrid. Alright, now here I am again at 100 kilometers an hour, and I've got the windshield in the upper position with the windscreen risers on and tilted back towards me as far as it'll go. I am getting quite a bit more noise, and I'm feeling a lot more turbulence on my chest and also a little bit more on my head. So still not quite there. I think that forward facing position is probably going to be the best one for me, but I'll be quiet now and I'll let you have a listen.
All right, folks, there we are. We've done 6 different tests today. We've had the screen in the lowest factory Kawasaki position, the highest factory position. We put the bar risers on in the lowest position, tilted forward, lowest position, tilted back, highest position, tilted forward, and highest position, tilted back. And I think for me, for my height, for how I ride, I think the best one for me is going to be the highest position, tilted forward. That one had the best noise in the helmet and the least amount of buffeting on my shoulders and on my helmet, which was really good. So I'm looking forward to using that from now on out. I think it's going to make the rides much quieter, much safer, and just far more enjoyable. If you do have a set of these NiceCNC risers on your bike, make sure you let me know in the comments below what setting you have them on, because I'll be really interested to hear. Now, you may have noticed during this video the big CarPlay screen I have on my bike. If you'd like to know more about that, it is a fantastic unit. It's CarPlay and Android Auto, packs a ton of features, won't break the budget, and I've got an in-depth review video for you right over here.